Hi, my name is Stephanie and this is Marissa, and we are here to tell you about the exciting opportunities and benefits that we have with AnchorBuilt. Marissa, do you want to go ahead and get us started?
Thank you, Stephanie. First off, I want to go ahead and thank New Mexico Workforce Connections for having us here today. A little backstory on AnchorBuilt. We are a local run commercial construction company. We specialize in medical facilities, schools, government facilities, as well as public works projects for the underground utilities. We are a self-performing contractor, which means we do perform in plumbing, HVAC, and carpentry. We really like to have our employees feel like they're family and feel like they're at home with our company. We want them to be able to come with us for anything and just be very comfortable with us. One thing that AnchorBuilt is very invested in is our employees' future and their knowledge. We do offer the Apprenticeship Program for employees who are interested in perfecting their craft and being licensed. And personally, I can attest to AnchorBuilt's overall family feel. I've been with the company for 6 years, and it's probably one of the most comfortable atmospheres that I've ever been a part of. Stephanie is going to go ahead and talk about our current job openings. Stephanie?
Yeah. So just to reiterate, for the people that are with us today speaking Spanish, nomás les quiero decir de la compañía de AnchorBuilt, lo que dijo Marisa está correcto, que la compañía de verdad cree muy realmente en entrenar a nuestros empleados. Queremos que sea gente que empiecen con la compañía, que crezcan con la compañía, que aprendan con la compañía. Entonces, como dijo Marisa, la compañía de AnchorBuilt ya tiene 24 años y realmente es una compañía que cree mucho en sus empleados y invierten en sus empleados. Ahorita vamos a cambiar a la siguiente página. We're going to go ahead and go to the next page, and we're going to go over the openings that we have available right now. We are looking for licensed carpenters, licensed HVAC people, licensed plumbers. But for those of you that aren't licensed, and maybe you've been doing this, maybe you've been doing your trade for 10 years, 20 years, but if you don't have your license, then we are the company that wants to help you get your license. Y en español, si tienen ya 10 años o tienen tiempo trabajando en su carrera, son carpinteros o plomeros o hacen aire acondicionado, pero no tienen su licencia, somos una compañía que les puede ayudar a agarrar su licencia, aunque no más hablen español. Les podemos ayudar a agarrar traductor, les podemos ayudar a agarrar la escuela de inglés. Lo que necesiten ayuda, nosotros les podemos ayudar para que puedan agarrar esa licencia para poder superarse en el futuro. We also have the helpers. So for heating and air conditioning, the plumbing, the pipe layers, we do a lot of utility work, government work. So if you're interested in any phase of construction, like Marissa was saying earlier, we do specialize in commercial construction, but we do other phases of it as well. For anyone that's looking to get into construction, but that's interested in maybe getting their foot in the door. Maybe you want to be the next licensed person, and you want to maybe start as a laborer. We are a company that we are willing to give you that opportunity to get in and figure out where it is which direction you want to go. And then at that point, we are very connected with ABC, the ABC program. And I know Marissa can probably tell us a little bit more about ABC. That's the Associated Builders and Contractors. We have an apprenticeship program. It lasts about, I think it's a 4-year program. Currently, it only takes 2 hours for 2 classes, 2 hours per week. And Marissa, can you go more into those details? Because I know you're more familiar with it, with the ABC program.
Yes, so anybody who's interested in becoming an apprentice for the trades that are listed on the screen, HVAC, plumbing, carpentry, what you'll do is you'll apply through AnchorBuilt to the Associated Builders and Contractors. And it's no money out of your pocket. This is considered a tuition assistance program that the company offers. Basically what you'll do is you'll apply through there, through AnchorBuilt to ABC. And what they'll do is they'll set up your classes and you will attend, I believe it used to be, I think 2 classes a week, 2 hours for those classes. And it does last 4 years. So on your 4th year, you will become a licensed journeyman in your trade. There's also a lot of continuing education programs that ABC does offer throughout the year, different trainings, safety, which we are very involved with. And it's just overall a very good program with a very great organization.
Thank you, Marissa. So also, if you see on the screen, we are also hiring for project coordinators and superintendents, project managers. We're always looking for good people. For those of you that maybe want to be the next superintendent, you want to be the next project coordinator, then we do want to offer those opportunities. For superintendents and project coordinators, if you're interested, we do require that you have a construction background for those positions. But if you were to start with us, maybe even labor, maybe you want to be the next superintendent, and we want to be able to offer you that opportunity. So let's go ahead and go to our next slide. And let's talk about our, which we've already talked about the training a lot, but just want to go a little bit more over it. Although how Marissa stated, we do have the apprenticeship program through ABC. We also offer other classes. So for example, there are people in our office that maybe want to take classes in the office for Excel, then we want to be able to offer that. There's another gentleman that's interested in getting his CDL. So right now I'm actually looking for a company that will provide that training for him. So we're very open to having our people grow with us. Y les voy a decir en español, otra vez nomás confirmando todo lo que ya hemos mencionado, que queremos crecer a nuestros empleados con la compañía. So, si les interesa tomar clases de inglés, clases de carpintería, cualquier cosa que sea así, estamos completamente dispuestos a ayudarles con eso.
And then also for ABC, I want to just go ahead and highlight a couple of things. I know I kind of touched a little bit on those. But one thing that I really want to reiterate is that you will graduate debt-free. This is a tuition assistance program that AnchorBuilt offers. It's no money out of your pocket. Another thing is you're going to be earning money while you learn. You're going to be going to work. You're going to be doing the things that you're learning in class. And then you're going to be getting to go to class to, again, perfect your craft. You're always going to be learning. And that's what we want to encourage, is for you to learn. You're also going to be contributing to our community through building. I can't tell you how great it is to drive by these schools and see our signs and know that we're helping the youth of Albuquerque and New Mexico really to have a great place to learn. Going to the zoo and being able to see, you know, a project that we've done at the zoo. And also you're going to be able to decide your career path. If you want to be a carpenter, if you want to be an HVAC, or if you want to be a plumber, it's completely your choice. And we're there to help you every step of the way.
And then in case we haven't mentioned, after you finish this program, you're going to be a licensed journeyman, which is huge, huge in the construction industry. So nomás para otra vez repetir lo que dijo Marisa en español, estas son clases que la compañía va a pagar, no van a deber nada después de que acaben y van a tener su licencia y su carrera. Okay, so I think if we go to the next slide, I think, yeah. Y la compañía, aparte de que ofrece entrenamiento, clases, también ofrece tiempo pagado, ofrecemos vacaciones, ofrecemos aseguranza médica de los dientes, de los ojos, del plan de retiro 401k, de una aseguranza que se llama AFLAC, y todavía, como dijo Marisa, y lo que hemos estado continuando platicando es de el trabajo, aprendiendo cuando trabajan, you know, pay as you get paid to learn. Les estamos pagando para aprender. Do you have more to go over?
No, just...
Oh, I need to say it in English. So in English, we have PTO, paid time off. We have 9 paid holidays. We offer medical, we offer vision, dental, 401k, optional AFLAC, tuition. And again, the tuition assistance. I know we keep talking about the tuition assistance, but to me, that is one of the biggest things that AnchorBuilt does. That, I mean, most of our employees have been with the company, 8-10 years. Marissa herself has been with the company 6 years. People I think when they come to work, they feel the family, the fact that the company really does care about you. And that's what we want to instill, and we want to make a difference in our community. So I'll go ahead and let Marissa keep going with that.
Again, just to touch on the tuition assistance and the on-the-job training, again, that is probably one of the biggest things that we push, just because, again, we really want to invest in our employees. Happy employees equals a really great company. And for us, again, that's probably the most important thing, and probably two of the most important benefits. I mean, of course, we all need medical, dental, vision, and all of that. But when it comes to bettering your education, we want to be there for you guys, again, every step of the way.
Yeah. One more thing that I want to add, as Marissa mentioned at the beginning, our company specializes in government projects. Now, what does that mean? If you've worked in construction, you know what this means. This means that we do mostly scale jobs, a lot of scale jobs, a lot of prevailing wage. And of course, when you come in to apply, we would go more in depth into that. But that just means that our wages are usually higher. So that is a huge plus for our company. Les voy a decir en español, nosotros nos especializamos en trabajos de gobierno, que son trabajos que pagan más. El gobierno escoge, decide cuánto les vamos a pagar los empleados y normalmente, no, sí, siempre es más de lo que de lo que normalmente se paga para una posición. Okay, do we have any questions, or I'd like to. Do you have anything else? Mm-hmm. Okay. Para los que quieren aplicar, if you're interested in applying, please feel free to contact us. We actually have an open job fair that runs every Wednesday from 10 to 3 p.m. You're more than welcome to come into our office. We're located at 104 Sin Nombre Court, as you see on the screen. That's in Albuquerque, and the zip code is 87114. Para los que quieran aplicar, pues están bienvenidos a venir a aplicar a la oficina. Estamos localizados en 104 Sin Nombre Court en Albuquerque. El código postal es 87114. Y tenemos, pueden venir a aplicar los miércoles desde las 10 de la mañana hasta las 3 de la tarde. Pero si no pueden venir los miércoles, por favor vengan, visiten nuestra página de internet, que es www.anchorbuilt.com, o pueden mandarme un correo electrónico a careers@anchorbuilt.com, o también nos pueden llamar a nuestro número si necesitan otra información. So in English, I just want to reiterate, our website is www.anchorbuilt.com. And again, we have the open house Wednesdays from 10 to 3. And if you can't make it on a Wednesday, please feel free to send us your resume at careers@anchorbuilt.com. And that email comes directly to our HR department. Or if you want to visit our website, you're more than welcome to do so. We have an application online on there, and we also have the job openings posted on there as well.
So we'll open it now for questions.
Okay.
And the first question is, how many employees do you have working right now?
Do you want to take this one?
Currently, with our growing numbers, it's I think a little hard to tell. We just have onboarded about how many new employees? Four or five, yeah. 4 or 5 new employees. So I believe that brings us up to, I want to say, about 36.
The next question is, what is the starting pay?
So real quick, just to kind of piggyback off what Marissa said, we're not exactly sure about the numbers, but I know it's somewhere like high 30s, low 40s, but we are going through a growth spurt right now. And that's why we're recruiting so hard, because again, we're looking for good people that want to work for a good company, that want to grow with a good company. We've gotten a lot of projects that are upcoming that we do need to be prepared for. And we're hoping that whoever applies and gets hired is going to be going through that exciting time with us. What was the next question? I'm sorry.
The next question is, with COVID, are your workers required to wear masks while working?
Yeah.
That's a really great question. With COVID happening right now, it is at the owner of the business's discretion. We are taking steps for our employees to ensure the safety of all around. We do have mandatory temperature checks for all employees, as well as, again, if the owner of the building does require the employees to wear masks, they do. And being that we do work with a lot of demolition, our employees are wearing masks most of the time anyways. Yeah, and gloves. But again, we are taking the necessary steps to ensure the safety of all around us, again, by taking those temperatures and verifying that all of our employees are in healthy condition, not only for their well-being, but for all of New Mexico's.
Mm-hmm.
The next question is, are your jobs all local or are some out of state?
Do you want to take that?
Sure. We actually have jobs, we specialize in New Mexico. There are some jobs that are like 2 or 3 hours away, but of course we would pay the per diem and the lodging for those. But we do have a lot of local jobs as well. It just depends on which direction construction wise you go. So like, for example, if somebody applied and they were interested in the utility site, then those would probably travel a little bit more. For example, right now, I think we have a project that's about 2.5, 3 hours away, but it does, again, we pay the per diem, the lodging, and they're working 4/10s, so they get 3 days off. And also I wanted to go back and answer a question that someone had about the salary, because I didn't want to leave them hanging. On the salaries, it is based on experience. But again, if you're hired on as labor and the state says we have to pay, pipeline or labor a certain wage, they are usually higher than most companies because the government decides those rates. I explained that correct, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So does that answer those 2 questions?
Yeah.
To piggyback off of the out-of-state work, just to give you guys an idea, we have traveled out of state as far as Tennessee. We've had projects that have gone on in Portland, Seattle, Colorado, Oklahoma. It'll vary from project to project. And of course, we do have those opportunities for you guys to travel out of state if it comes.
And do you pay for staying out of state, the hotel?
We do pay for lodging per diem, majority of that. And also, again, all of that is more on the HR side. So that would be definitely something to discuss during the time of your interview.
So if we had if we had a job site where it was out of state, which we're predominantly staying in New Mexico, so I don't foresee that being an issue here in the near future. But anything where travel would be required, we would obviously have that conversation. And yes, like Marissa stated, we would definitely cover the lodging, cover the per diem, and you would know far in advance what the wages would be for that particular job before you went on it.
Okay, thank you. Do you ever do residential work?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. We do residential work mainly on the HVAC side. We do a lot of residential work. We are mainly a commercial contractor. However, if the opportunity presents itself and we, I don't want to say if we have the time, but if it seems like, it's something that we can do, then we'll definitely be able to do a residential project.
Thank you. If you go for training, do you have to complete the entire 4 years to get your license?
So 2 things. So let's give the example of a journeyman, say HVAC. Say you want to do heating and air conditioning. If you've never done it before and you're starting from scratch, yes, it would take 4 years to get your license. If you have the experience and you have the knowledge and you've already done the 2 years of training that it takes, you could take the test and pass it and have your license.
And another question, does AnchorBuilt provide healthcare?
Yes, we offer medical, vision, and dental, and athletic. Well, yeah.
Thank you. Does your company subcontract work out?
We do have subcontractors that perform work on some of our projects. Again, to kind of reiterate from the beginning, we are a self-performing contractor, so we do self-perform in plumbing, HVAC, and carpentry. Generally, we'll have subcontractors if it's absolutely needed on that project. Yeah, and electrical, we do have to we subcontract out because we do not self-perform electrical.
Can we apply on the New Mexico Workforce website?
Yes, that's fine. If you want to apply on the New Mexico Workforce site, yes, you can. Once you apply, they actually send me those resumes over to my email. So yes, you can.
Thank you. Did you want to answer any more questions, or did anything else?
If there's any more questions,
Sure.
We'll be glad to answer them.
I think we answered all the questions.
Okay, no problem.
Oh, there's one. What is the hiring process? One more question.
Okay.
Okay, so if someone were to send me, it could go multiple ways. If somebody came into the office and applied, you could get an interview and possibly get hired right away with, we'd schedule a second interview if we could that same day, and you could possibly get hired very quickly. If you wanted to send a resume, we could do the resume, and at that point we would review them if you have the interest, and if there's an interest, then we would call you, schedule the interview, and then again it jumps off like where I described the first part, where we would interview, possibly give you a second interview, and then hire you, hopefully. Now, if once the hiring process begins, we do a background check, we do a drug screen, we do a safety test, and if everything goes well with that, we check your references, and then hopefully we get you on board.
One more question. Do veterans receive any preference?
I've never had that question. Well, I always get those first from like New Mexico Workforce Connection. So, but we really do try to treat everybody the same. I don't usually get that information. So when anybody applies, we just, we really just try to treat everybody the same. We want to give everybody the same opportunities.
Thank you. That's all our questions.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we hope to see you in our office soon.
Yeah, thank you.